It's a orange juice.
What's up everyone, this is OJ. I'll be releasing a tech video later on in the day, so stay tuned. Let's jump into some gameplay to give you an idea of what the Executioner can and can't do. Mana and I played various decks to get a feel for the Executioner. I'm playing a graveyard deck with an Executioner and Mana has a Hog deck. It's our first time using him, so we weren't sure what to expect. Starting off the match, I played Mega Minions behind the King Tower. Putting him here lets him swerve to defend either lane if it needs to. Mana cycles his hand with an Ice Spirit, but looking at the replay, it could have been fine if he played his Executioner in the back since he has a medium move speed. This is the same as a Musketeer. He played an Electro Wizard in the back, anticipating my Mega Minion, then a Hog in the other lane, with his Electro Wizard targeting my Mega Minion. My Executioner targets the Electro Wizard. 2.5 attacks is all I need to take him out, but he plants an Ice Golem, and his Electro Wizard stun forces my Executioner to retarget onto the Ice Golem at a different angle. My Executioner is still alive, so I spawned an Ice Golem for 2 Elixir. My logic is that the Ice Golem now forces him to spend Elixir to take out my Executioner. While my Ice Golem survives, even though he used the log, it's kind of a positive trade if you think about it that way, because now I have an Ice Golem tanking for my graveyard. Same line of thought on Mana side, I could have ignored that Electro Wizard. I can't, because left alone that Ice Spirit Wizard combo will deal massive damage to my tower. We're both just waiting on Elixir now, but he's ahead. With the Executioner in the back, he plays a Hog. I know my Elite Barbarians are going to get shredded by the axe, so I played an Ice Golem at an angle to distract the Executioner. With an Electro Wizard and the log, my Elite Barbarians barely even touch the Executioner, even though he only has 1,000 health. Again, trying to get value of his near-dying Electro Wizard, he plays a Dart Goblin at the bridge. The Dart Goblin always gets 2 shots no matter his health, but to prevent this you have to zap and stun him on your side, so you'll only get 1 dart off. Our rotations reset, and if I don't change the timing, I'm going to eventually get chipped out. Our battles cancel out with equal elixir trades, except there's one key difference. His Fireball also chipped my tower, so I lost that battle. He played an Ice Golem. Knowing his entire deck, I'm positive this is a Hog push, so I countered the Ice Golem with Elite Barbarians. With my Electro Wizard to stun his Executioner, I want to prevent too much damage being dealt to my Barbarians. Wrong move, he fireballed everything for massive value, all while his Dart Goblin makes positive trades on my graveyard. He played a Hog at the bridge knowing I don't have any hard counters, so it gets 2 hits off. With everything perfectly clumped, his Executioner destroys my entire push, all while protecting his Executioner by angling the Ice Golem away from everything else. Playing my Electro Wizard in the back, I'm asking to be fireballed. At this point there's not much I can do. Mana played well and he had a lot of answers to my graveyard, especially that Dart Goblin. Let's check out some replay highlights. Here's a very interesting interaction. Mana played an Ice Golem knowing his Electro Wizard would reset the Executioner. This changed the angle of attack, saving that wizard from 1 axe attack. Another highlight is when Mana used the log and an Electro Wizard to shut down my Elite Barbs, where they normally would have demolished the Executioner since he really only has the health of an Ice Golem. When Mana played the Hog at the bridge, I countered with Mega Minion. Since this was our first game using him, I didn't know that the Executioner can stop the Hog from getting more than 1 hit. In the second match, I took out Electro Wizard and Elite Barbarians to lower the cost of my deck. Mana's playing an even cheaper cycle deck. The cost only seems high because of his Elite Barbs. Rushing in with a Miner doesn't really deal much damage, and now I have a Mega Minion to counter push, but I planted my Ice Golem way too early. My Ice Golem's Frost Nova damages his minions to a zappable range, but I want to really push hard, so I backed up my Mega Minion with an Executioner. He plays a Princess and the Executioner just takes her out really fast. He won't be making that mistake again. My Executioner managed to get 2 hits off of the Arena Tower, so that's over 500 damage, which could have been prevented if he logged my Executioner. Playing my Musketeer in the back, I want to build up a good graveyard push. Elite Barbarians have been nerfed, but they still work at the bridge. Right now I only have spells and air units, so I need to cycle back to my skeletons. He played Dart Goblins expecting skeletons, but it locked onto my Mega Minion instead, and that cost him the entire Barbarian push. With 3 spells in my slot, I'm playing my Executioner in the back. It's pretty decent in the back because of his medium move speed. With the 5 elixir cost, it's the same as playing a Witch in the back to bank some elixir, but I don't have to worry about Fireball in my tower since he has over 1,000 health. With the Musketeer to help take out the Golem, that Executioner is going to demolish his Princess. If you watch closely, his minions stopped 100% of my graveyard. but that's because he had to deal with my graveyard. He didn't have enough elixir to plant elite barbarians earlier. This let my musketeer and executioner hit his tower, dealing 700 damage. With my cycle deck, I was able to kite his elite barbarians. The Dart Goblin has massive range and he's locked on way too fast. My musketeer was completely wasted. She was a straight up negative elixir trade. He played a princess at the front in an attempt to siege me out. Again with 3 spells in my hand. Executioner was my best answer. Here's something I learned for the first time. Because she only dies when the axe comes back, she was able to attack my tower twice. He surrounded my executioner, but that didn't really help because he has a 360 splash. Again cycling back to my skeletons and ice golem, I shut down those barbs. With my massive elixir advantage, I snag his tower. Now with less than 20 seconds left on the clock, there's zero chance his deck will sneak past my executioner. I'll go into detail about the executioner's 360 splash in my next video. Hopping into the third match, I'm using a giant executioner deck and he's using a standard rural giant hog deck. Starting off, he just loves rushing. With an RG at the bridge, I have skeletons and an executioner to take it out. Counter-attacking with my executioner, I have an ice golem to tank for him. Despite its nerf twice in a row now, the mega minion is more than enough to shut down an executioner. Playing a mega minion in the back, I'm gonna build a push with my giant and executioner to support everything. With my giant tanking, those barbarians get sliced by my executioner. His hog doesn't do a very good job of distracting my executioner, so it gets taken out pretty fast with the help of skeletons. With the distance and how long that axe remains flying in the air, it offered so much area denial. It was really difficult for Mana to plant anything nearby to stop the push with what he had left. The Mega Minion wasn't necessary because it didn't really stop the tower anyways. At a large elixir advantage, I played a musketeer in the back to bank some elixir. He fireballs her, so now I know he's really low on elixir and it's not even double elixir time yet. I planted my executioner at a bad spot because of the angle he engaged the barbarians mostly only clipped one barbarian on the first attack. Since the executioner can't move while he's waiting for his axe to return to him, the barbarians kind of just walk out of range. This lets him play an ice golem to divert my executioner while his barbarians shred my giant. The ice golem wasn't enough to distract my executioner because he eventually went to town on those barbarians. His plan was to have Roll Giant tank my executioner with his mega minion to take it out. But my executioner starts ignoring the Roll Giant. Now his mega minion gets shredded by my executioner since it switched targets. With less than 50 seconds left on the clock, Mana is really desperate to take out my tower. With my executioner and skeletons, that hog only gets one hit on my tower. Meanwhile on the right side, my giant and musketeer deals a lot of damage to his tower. Accepting the fact that I have no buildings, I know his Roll Giant will take out my tower. So I'm focusing on the right side, planting my executioner to take out the ice golem and his other troops. With the barbarians perfectly lined up, my executioner just destroys them. They didn't even swing at him once. Fireball doesn't take out my musketeer and it brings my executioner's health down below half. But he's still strong enough to survive a log. He already cycled back to barbarians, but it's not enough to stop my giant. Plus he planted an ice golem that perfectly lined to my executioner to take it out. It was a pretty quick match, and with our deck differences, I don't think it was fair. The executioner gave me strong control of the match, and it was positive elixir trades all day against his barbarians, which were essentially his only answer to my giant. This was the most interesting interaction in the match. My executioner locked onto his Roll Giant, but it walked out of range, beyond 5 tiles. This happened because the executioner doesn't move while his axe is flying in the air. He patiently waits and stands still in the same spot until his axe returns. So my executioner locked into the Mega Minion and just destroyed him really fast. In this match, Mana is using a Lava Loon deck and I'm using a deck with Tornado, Execution, and Elite Barbarians. We go into these matches blind where we don't know each other's decks. He has a Lava Hound in the back and I have a Musketeer. If I waited just a bit longer, I could have rushed the other side with Elite Barbarians. I'm doing it anyways. He has Scar me, but that won't stop me because I have Zap. Looks like he's going all in on the left side, so I angled my Executioner to clip the Lava Hound and the approaching minions. With my Executioner shooting at all of these weird angles because of the pups, it does nothing to the balloon, so I have to Tornado it. Trying to go in for a counter push, I have Ice Golem and Ice Spirit backing up my Executioner, but his Mega Minion stops my 8 Elixir push. He has the Lava Hound on the left side, so I'm rushing again with Elite Barbarians. If he banked that Tombstone before playing the Lava Hound, that would have been a better play. He used Tombstone and Skeleton Army, so that's not bad. This is 6 elixir he didn't spend supporting his Lava Hound on the other side. I have Mega Minion, Musketeer, and Executioner to target air, so I'm not really worried about an unsupported Lava Hound. He fireballs my Executioner, forgetting that it has over 1000 health, so that doesn't do much. The Hound pops, and his axe stuns them in place. I honestly wasn't expecting that to happen, otherwise I wouldn't have planted that Ice Golem. That was massive splash damage on all of the pups since they stayed clumped. With my Ice Golem supporting the Executioner, he can't counter with minions. But the Mega Minion is strong enough to withstand a few axes. His Lava Hound protects his Mega Minion perfectly, so I had to Tornado to kill it, preventing it from reaching my Musketeer. With Skarmy on the other side, I could have zapped it, but watching the Executioner take it all out is just really soothing. I know his Skarmy is out of rotation, and he doesn't have any ground troops to pull my Elite Barbarians, so I rushed it on the right side. One barb makes it past the Tombstone onto the tower, and the Executioner's final axe throw takes out the Tombstone and the skeleton that spawned. There's not much mana can do, his entire deck is weak to mine. I pulled the Lava Hound and the Executioner kills the Lava Hound and the pups clump up again. This is apparently not that hard to do since each axe pass deals 140 damage on the way there and back, so the kill shot is relatively easy to achieve. His balloon takes out my tower and we go into overtime. Since I completely outclassed his deck, I was a bit careless and I could have ended the game a bit earlier. That's it for these matches. Stay tuned for more quality OJ.